Hi, I'm so excited today to have my good friend, my sister, someone who really inspires and has mentored me over the few years that I've known her. Actually, a number of years that I've known her now. But Dr. Auma Obama is the founder of Sauti Kuu in Alego, and I was very privileged to be invited there a couple of weeks ago. Auma's been inviting me for quite a long time. I took my time getting there. I got there and I was just absolutely blown away. What she's done is incredible. I mean, this center is huge. It's got literally everything for all these kids outside of the regular curriculum of schools, which I think is amazing. Auma, we see these centers in Europe and in the States and community centers, but I've not come across one in Africa in all my travels across the continent. I think this is probably the first one that I've ever seen. And congratulations for what you've done. But what inspired you? How did Sauti Kuu come about?
Thanks that you came. That's really, really important to me. I can't stop saying that because I really value your opinion, value your support, and finally you were able to come and see what I'm doing, what I've been doing over the last more or less 8 years. And what inspired me to do what I do, to work the way I do, and to create such a space in the rural area, which really is a bit of a neglected space in our country and on our continent, was because we all want to work with disadvantaged people, children in particular. We want to help them. And one of the things I promised myself is when I work with kids and youth and their families and in such a community, I will create a space that they're able to realize their potential. Because very often we go into their spaces, and what are their spaces? They live in slums, they live in the rural area and really run down huts in very miserable conditions. And I needed a space where the kids can exhale and just enjoy the beauty of a space that they can also create in their own homes. And that's what Sauti Kuu is.
And the kids are so happy. I mean, just, even though you haven't sort of officially opened your main center yet, the center that I came to, the kids were so happy, and I mean, they have big smiles, and they're just obviously already becoming very confident. And I think, the work that you and your team are doing is really, really inspirational. But Auma, I mean, this is a big center. And so tell us what's actually going to be in this center.
The center is really, in one word, holistic.
Okay.
It enables kids to have fun. There's a recreational space, so we've got very many different sports facilities and options and opportunities. We have basketball, we have football that is loved by all, we have netball and volleyball, table tennis, outdoor and indoor. We're also going to have the possibility to have football in the night because we have solar, so we'll be floodlighting the field. We have camping, which will be a possibility as well for the kids to come for a retreat, get some learning, life skills learning, at the same time have fun. We have workshop rooms to do normal learning during the day. We have a space that we are going to be doing vocational training in, where we take 8 different skills that are going to be taught, 5 of them all around construction, because I believe that's the way we're going at the moment. Kids and young people need to learn that they can't just wait to have a white-collar job. They don't exist. We need to start working with our hands, and you can make a lot of money doing that, and we want to show the kids that. We also want it to be a knowledge center, so we're going to have a library, an IT center where you can access computers, access internet, and also basically we're going to have a space whereby the parents also can participate in what we do, because we don't just work with the kids and the young people, we also include the parents in what we do. So a lot of the work is around, we have a demonstration garden because one of the vocational skills we're teaching is agriculture. So we're going to teach them how to grow indigenous crops, go back to what we had thousands and thousands of years and what worked. So getting them to learn what they can use, the local resources that they have, in order to get economic empowerment, in order to be able to eat healthily, in order to be able to live in a space that is actually very beautiful. You saw it.
I saw it.
It's beautiful.
It's stunning. It's really stunning.
And this is not my center I'm talking about. It's just the area. Alego is a beautiful space.
It is, but the center is not going to be just for the kids from Alego. I mean, it's obviously going to be a regional center, right? I mean, it's very, very ambitious.
To just be for, it's a huge, I mean, it's my project. This is the legacy that I hope to be able to leave, because it is huge. I mean, it's a pilot, and I would like to have the similar center in other places, and I'm open to working with others on this, and I've had some requests already. But this one is big because it's like having your first child. You know, you give them everything, you overdo it, and maybe I did overdo it a little bit, but then this is the example, and this is going to be like the mothership, where it's going to be the hub where all the training really happens. All the examples of what is possible will happen at this center. If you want to get librarians, you know, trained, come to us because we have a library. If you want to do an IT course, come to us because we have IT. You want to do a sports clinic, we have the space and all the facilities. So basically it's going to be the place where it's the mothership, and all the other little centers that hopefully we'll be able to have in the country and beyond on the continent will be able to feed back from there and learn from us. So that's why it's so big. And I guess I had the possibility, I'm blessed enough to be able to have the opportunity and the support to do it.
Well, it's definitely going to be the gold standard. I mean, you know, not just in Kenya, but I think it will be the gold standard in Africa. And it's just, it's not part of the school curriculum, so it's an alternative. I mean, explain to us how it's going to fit in.
It's actually a value add, because in the school system, and we see that in our kids, the life skills part of training is somewhat minimal. The sports and healthy living part of the training in school is minimal as well. So we want to be a value add. We don't want to replace school, and we say that always, we don't replace school, though everybody who comes there says, oh, what is your school going to be like? And you know, they all think I'm putting up a school or a stadium. And I always say it's a value add, and they think, well, that's a bit elaborate, but it's not. Because the kids get an opportunity to be creative, to be able to do creative arts, to be able to do the music, the performance, all the things that build their character, that makes them into critical thinkers. Because at the moment we're churning out young people who just say yes. They never learn to have the conversation around, maybe it could be different, maybe I could be part of the decision-making process. And that's what we need, because we're all crying out for good employees, and we can't get them because they're not employable. And the value add that we're going to give is going to make young people employable. And
also giving them the confidence, right, where they can question. And I think that's very much part of it. And I just saw the little kids there, you know, I mean, this tiny little, just cute kids, but actually, you know, being able to articulate what they thought, which is just incredible. So
in fact, we start from the age of 4 to 25. And people say 4 is a bit young. In fact, we have 2-year-olds. The little one who was in your arms was a 2-year-old.
Loved her.
And that's because they then learn to be confident very early without being afraid. Because one of the things we do in Africa is we bring up our kids with a lot of fear as well. Because, you know, if you don't do the right thing, you're in trouble. So we want to make it, well, why are you not doing the right thing? What can you do otherwise? So we really have the conversation with them from when they're very, very little. So, and you know,
that's how you have, you know, well-rounded, you know, leaders.
Yes,
because I really do believe that you're creating a whole, you know, a leadership academy in so many ways. You know,
I hope so.
Oh no, you definitely are. But Auma, you know what? You know what? I mean, it's really interesting that, you know, when we hear the name Obama, you're not the first one that comes to our mind.
No, I don't think so.
but you have quietly, you know, built this, and I've known you for a long time, and we talk about your center, but I did not know the scale to which you were doing this, and you know, it's amazing. Why were you so low key in Kenya?
I think I was quiet for 2 reasons. One was because the name brings a lot of weight and a lot of expectation. So I could not include people in what I'm doing because I would disappoint them. Because the expectation is that there's a lot of money involved, eventually my brother's involved, and there's a situation whereby, oh, you know, it's kind of like a favor and then I owe. And I was very cautious about that because I know I would never be able to deliver if I built my vision on the basis of my brother.
Sure.
Basically, because that's the name, the person who's associated with the name. So I was very cautious about that because I can only take things in small bites and work my way very slowly through what I'm doing. The second thing was that my vision, actually I didn't realize how big it was until now, when I see what I've created, what we've got there with my team, of course, not alone, and with my supporters. It's big. And one of the things was that I did not feel comfortable about trying to get monetary support in Kenya or in Africa for that matter, because I guess my scope was not that big, but of the people I know around me and my connections, I know that every African has at least 5 to 10 relatives that they're supporting.
Exactly.
And the extended family. So my feeling was that I have got access to the West. I've got access in particular to Germany and the German-speaking countries. They support my work. They really do believe in what I do. And they were very willing to help me with monetary funds because they don't have the pressures that we as Africans do have. So at that point I thought, well, why, you know, start a situation or put myself in a position where I'm just stressing people and stressing myself. So that's why I'm never in the country as well, because I was fundraising. I basically network a lot. I talk to people about what I do. I convince them about it. And this is in Europe and in America. And I got the support I needed. I was very, very lucky, very blessed that I found the right people who really over the years have continued, and I have I call them my repeat offenders in a loving way. They continue to support me because they believe in what I do and they see the progress. But it's been, like you say, very, very quiet because it worked so far. It worked. And I'm grateful for that because it was also a possibility for me to realize my vision without being prevented or limited
or obligated.
or owing or obligated. I could just work, and that is.
But I think you've brought it this far,
Yeah.
and I think it would just it's a responsibility of us, of Africans, to now take it to the next level. I mean, you've done an amazing job, but you know what? We can't expect international donors to take it to the next level. I think it's now time that Africans, Kenyans, come on board and assist you to actually equip it. Open it and make it sustainable.